so challenging being a plus size girl is that
Mhm.
we have to search. I feel like
Mhm.
skinny
Mhm.
bitches don't have a reason to look bad. I'm like, you guys have so much options out there
I agree. I'm sorry, I
from
agree.
all like price
Mhm.
points. You
Mhm.
can literally choose anything and you still look like shit. I don't get it. So, like, for a big girl to be able to dress and to serve
Mhm.
takes so
Mhm.
much more effort because they have to source the clothes and then they have to find the right fit and then they have to put it together and then like
Mhm.
it's very meticulous. If I see a plus size girl and she's serving, I'm like, I want to like go up to her and give her a high five because I'm like, yes,
You
bitch,
should.
I'm like, that's it. But and
Alright.
it's cute because I'll have, like, plus size girls come up to me and, like, that look fierce too. We'll compliment each other's style, so we do, like, support each other, but
Aw.
I just feel like there's not enough,
Right.
there's not enough
Yeah.
of us, and I feel like more fashion companies, I wish they would cater to clients like me. You say, "Oh, I only, like, buy high quality stuff." Like, I would like to have a Max Mara coat, but
Mhm.
they don't have size. I mean, they have what is that, Marina Rinaldi, which is, like, their plus size, but I'm like, "Why do you have to create a new line for plus size
Why do you have to
girls?" Like,
separate it? You know
yeah,
what I
why can't
mean?
you
Yeah.
just include it into your regular sizing? And I'm like, for
That's a
instance, like, I
call
want that
out.
fucking teddy bear coat that everyone was
Me
obsessed with from
too.
Max
Me
Mara,
too.
right? So I
I
wanted
know.
one, and then
Um,
I'm like, maybe Marina Rinaldi has, like, one that looks similar, but they came out with one, but it doesn't look as chic as the Max Mara one, and they're
well, that's
the
not
same price. I'm
fair.
like, if I'm
That's not
spending
fair.
$3,500 for a coat, I want the Max Mara one. I don't
Yeah.
want the fat girl version of it. Sorry, Max Mara, because I love that vibe. Like, Max Mara is, like, my successful me.
Mhm.
Like, if I was
Mhm.
a rich, powerful bitch, I'd be, like, in Max Mara 24/7 because it's, like, comfortable, chic, rich, luxurious. Like, I love that vibe.
Mm.
Like, really nice fabrics, like, cashmere, like, everything looks luxe, but simple, like the row. Like, I love the row.
Oh, the
I
row. I
love
love the
yeah,
row.
like,
But
it's
bitch,
just
who can
clean.
afford that shit? It's so
It's so
expensive.
expensive, Mary-Kate and Ashley.
I know,
I've had, like,
girls.
so many
Don't
run-ins
br
with those bitches, literally, at that party at Van Dam, and then I saw them twice on the street. I was walking down, one of the streets in Soho, and they were outside on the sidewalk smoking.
Smoking a cigarette,
So, yeah,
of
smoking
course. I
cigarettes, and
knew
then
it.
they both stared at me. They were both, like when I was walking, and I was like
Boss ass bitch.
they were, like, staring at me. I was like, "Oh, nothing, like, vibing with me," and then I was in a taxi cab, and they were in an Escalade next to me with their window down
No.
smoking. Yes. I was like, "I swear, I think we're destined to work together, Mary Kate and Ashley.
That and also give me a discount, hoe.
How about you just gift me with clothes in my size? Thanks." But,
Sponsored by
yeah,
The
like, I wanna
Row.
wear those clothes too.
You know, this is a big call
Shit.
out. This is a big call out to all these fashion brands where you limit yourself to sizes. Like,
Yeah.
why should you stop at a certain size? People are fabulous in all forms and all shapes.
Yeah.
Give everyone a chance.
Exactly, and what's annoying is that they try to look inclusive on their fashion shows. Like, they'll have
Oh, by having a
plus
plus size
size
model who's a size 8.
model who's a size 8 or a 10 or 12. 12 is skinny. If I was a size 12, my ass would be a model, okay? Like, that I would be like the medium-sized Tyra, and everyone's like, "Oh, she's plus size." I'm like, "She looks skinny to me." Like, during her show, she was, like, a
Tyra was
size
a size
12.
12?
When she was having the Tyra Banks show, and she, like, called out the fashion industry for saying that she was fat, they had called her she had a fat ass, and at that time, she was, like, a
Oh.
12, size 12, and I was like, "She looked hella skinny." But anyway, like,
Guys, a size 12 is not big, FYI,
no,
guys.
I would gag if I was a size 12. I would be so because I would be able to fit into designer clothes if I was a size 12, because that's, like, what, the biggest size, right? On,
Yeah.
like, most designer
Well,
clothes.
for
Some of
certain
them are going
brands,
up to
like
14.
Zimmerman only goes up to a size 12.
Yeah. That's, like, the largest size, but some of them are pushing the envelope and going to a 14, and even a
Oh,
14 isn't that
wow.
big. So I'm
How about
like,
you go to a
"Okay."
20 and then we'll talk.
Yes, okay? So it's just, like it's really infuriating because I wanna
Yeah.
participate in this world, in the fantasy and
Mm.
luxury, but I can't, so what am I left with? Fucking handbags. handbags and accessories. And how about we
And
extend the shoe
makeup.
sizes too? Can we do a larger shoe sizes? Thanks. With
Thank
wide width.
you. I mean,
I mean,
Paris Hilton's a size 11, and she has a hard time
mhm.
finding shoes.
Like Louboutin comes they have a size, I think they go up to 43, 44, but that shit runs narrow AF.
That's still tight. I had to size
Yeah.
up, like, 2 sizes in Louboutin.
What size are you? Like a 42? 41?
In Louboutin, I'm 41.5, when in
Oh,
reality, I'm
see?
a 39.5. Yeah.
So it's all like smoke and mirrors. I mean, Jimmy Choo is trying to be inclusive. Like they have like a unisex line, but then one, I went on their website to check it out, and they had like 5 styles, and they were all like hideous. And then all the sizes that could potentially fit me were all sold out. So I'm like, don't they see that people are buying shit if things are selling out? Like
That's
they're
the
like,
part
oh
that I
wow,
don't
all the biggest sizes
understand.
sold out.
That's what I don't understand. It's like you have the potential of making more money with people who are ready to drop and shop, but yet you're
Yes,
gonna limit yourself to that clientele for what?
exactly.
For image? What image?
Right. So it's just really
Mm,
irritating. And I
fashion
hate that like in
brands, get it together.
fashion shows, there's only like one plus size model. And it's like, what's that one? Precious Lee. I think her name is Precious Lee.
Mm,
She's like the plus size black model of the moment. She's in every fashion show.
preciously.
Yeah, her name is Precious Lee, I believe.
Well, let me look her up.
Yes. And
Preciously.
literally, she's the hot face right now. Like, I'm like, okay, bitch, you better work. Except that do they really have her sizes
Oh,
available for
her. Okay.
yes. So she's in, like,
But is she plus size?
I mean, according to the high fashion industry, she is. She has, like, titties and ass, you know? But I bet you she's, like, a 14, 14, 16. Yeah, I just hate that. It's just really annoying. I mean, I see people trying,
You see people trying, like who?
like, Versace and, like, all the fashion, like, all I was watching, like, what was it? Versace, Fendi, they had Precious Lee in it. Like, she walked the
Mm.
runway. I feel like she walked every show, every major show she
Yeah, but
walked
are
on
they
it.
gonna provide
No,
that
that's the thing.
size? They're just doing it
No.
just to be inclusive when they're
Yeah.
not.
And then Chloe had an advertisement of a plus size looking girl, which she was, again, probably a size 14. And I went onto their website, and I was like, wow, is Chloe coming out with plus sizes? And I looked on their website, size 14. I think they pushed
Mm.
it to a 16 maybe, but I'm like, that's not really plus size. That's like on the smaller end. I think a 16 is like an average size. That's like
Hmm.
the average size of a woman.
I
You
would
know
like
what I
to know
mean?
why they don't go above 14.
I don't know. It just really hopefully that changes. And same with men. I was actually mentioning this on my Facebook. There's so much emphasis on like trying to be inclusive. I'm like, how come they're only inclusive with women? Like, wouldn't it be cool if you
Hmm.
watched like an Yves Saint Laurent fashion show and they used all the male models during Men's Fashion Week where they
Mhm.
like had all dad bods? Wouldn't
I'm
that be
actually very
cool?
attracted to dad bod.
Exactly. Wouldn't that be
Uh,
cool?
that
Like,
would
I
be
would love
hot. I
that.
would
Like,
fucking love watch
yeah,
that
like
show.
hot dad, like
Yeah.
dads, like
Ugh,
they look like with dad bods. That would be
ew.
like such a
I love
cute
a
idea.
daddy. That would be
Right.
a great idea.
Right. Because I was watching like all these men's fashion shows. I'm like, God, the guys are so fucking thin. They're so
Yeah.
skinny.
I don't find that
And I'm like,
attractive.
"Oh, it's gender inclusive, it's unisex clothes." I'm like, "Is it though?" Because they look so thin, they're like women. Like, their sizing, they can
Size
fit into
0.
women's clothes. I'm right. I don't know. Like, I would like to see, like, a plus size guy. Can I see, like, a dad bod go down the runway from, like, a really hot one?
I feel like Rihanna did that with her show. She had all body types, including men in her
Yeah, that's
shows.
I mean, yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what needs I wanna see that in a high fashion runway show. That'd be so
No, I
cool.
get it. Yeah, that would be cool. Except
And,
to
like,
call them out,
call them out.
and, we need explanations.
And then I'm, like, thinking about fashion shows, and I'm like, they try to act inclusive, but they're not really
No, that's what
inclusive.
I'm saying, it's all a facade.
It's all a facade, like, even, like, Black models or Asian models, why
Mhm.
do they all look the same? Like, all the Asian models look
Well, because they
like
hire the same Asian model, they hire the same black model,
I
like,
get
it's
it, But I mean, why do the black models all have to look like they're from Sudan or like that Alek Wek super dark look? I love
Mhm.
that look, but
It's
does
beautiful.
every single model have to look like that? Like
True,
short
true.
hair, Grace Jones like vibe. And I'm
Yeah.
like, there are other beautiful shades of black women out there like that you
Mhm.
can use. And same with Asians
Show us a
of
diversity
black
in
women.
Black women, yeah.
Yeah, and the, like, Asians, they always look super, like, Chinese,
Mhm.
tall, skinny, and I'm like, they don't
And they're
show
always pale.
like, super pale. It only looks like they choose Chinese models. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's other Asian countries out there that have models.
Hello, Malaysian,
Malaysian, Cambodia,
Filipino,
Laos, Philippines, Thai, like
Japanese, Korean, like,
yeah, and
yeah.
I don't feel like I see enough of the diversity of just the Asian models. It's like, why do they
Mhm.
all look
They
like
all
the
look the same.
same Asian model?
And that's, like,
It
not
just blows
being
my mind,
racist,
like
we're just, like, stating the
no, it's
observations.
yeah, like, there are
I
5,
mean,
like, African tribal looking black models and then 5, like, Asian, super Chinese looking, and, like, girl, can we
it's
just
like
have, like,
the
a
if
beautiful I don't know, I just kinda
Malaysian
wish
woman.
yeah, Malaysian woman, I don't know, like, I just wish there were more diversity in terms of, like, Asian
Mhm.
looks and black and even Latina, like, I
They're
don't
just
see
trying
a
to
lot
meet
of
quotas,
Afro
I feel.
Latinas. Are there any Afro Latina models? I can't even think of
Hmm.
any.
No, that's the thing. Then that's the
I mean,
sad
I'm
part.
sure
I
there
should be able to think
are,
of
but
one, and they are, but, like, I can't think of one. I just feel
I
like
feel
at
like
this point, like
American designers, like, I see the Zimmerman show seemed very diverse.
well, because they got called out.
Oh.
Mhm.
By who?
Society.
Their customer.
Yeah. All of a sudden, they're just using black models left
I'm
and,
like,
right, like, back to front, like, because they got called out. Just like Gucci
right.
got called out, Zimmerman got called out, who else got called out? So many brands have been called out, and now they're, like, forcing it, and they're not even, like, being genuine about it. They're just forcing it because they got called out.
Yeah. What are your thoughts of like trans representation in fashion?
I feel like it's there. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like especially now, it's more like I hate saying this, but I feel like it's become a trend to hire a
Hmm.
trans model, which is, like, sad to say. I feel like I don't wanna diss the success of trans models walking the runway, but, like, I feel like big brands are using it as, like, "Oh, I wanna be inclusive, and so let me hire a trans model." It's the it thing to do. They're using
Yeah.
us as a prop,
Hmm. Kind
you
of
know?
like how they use like black models in the 90s.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, good for them. I'm happy that I'm seeing more and more trans models out there, but I also want these models to, like, pay attention to see, like, why are they hiring you? Are they hiring you because you're fierce and you know how to walk?
You
Or
serve
are they
looks and
hiring
you're a good
or you serve
model.
looks, that? Or are they hiring you because you're trans?
I mean, I'm trying to think of like the good like trans models. I know that one model from Euphoria is getting a lot of
Oh,
traction.
yeah.
Hunter Schafer.
Hunter Schafer, yeah.
Like she's the face of like is it Victor and Rolf fragrance? She's
She's
also
a
the face of
face of, like,
Prada.
yeah. She looked great at the Vanity Fair after party.
Mhm, her little feather top. She got
I mean, I
body.
she got body. I one criticism that I noticed is, like,
Mhm.
her boob job, it just seemed a little lumpy. Am I the only one who noticed that?
No, I know what you mean.
Okay, yeah, it just threw me
It
off.
did. It did. Maybe they need a contour or something. I don't know.
Maybe, or I don't know. Maybe, like, let's get those checked.
Yeah, like the bot
Why
like
are they
the
it
curvature
was just like it
like
was not
underneath.
curved. Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Mm." I don't wanna sound hateful, I'm just, like, concerned.
Whatever happened
But
to,
she looked fierce. She looked fierce.
she did look fierce. I mean, I like her.
Yeah, same.
What happened to Andrea Pejic? Remember her from
Oh my gosh, she was such the it girl.
the
You're
It
right.
model
We were
when
so
she did
obsessed with
the,
her.
what was the show that she got
We
famous
were
from? Gautier. She did the
so
Gautier show. She did the
obsessed
men's
with
show.
her. We were obsessed with her.
Yeah, she was so beautiful, and then she, like, disappeared off the face of the earth, and someone said she's gonna be in the new Little Mermaid as one of the sisters.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. Yeah, she has, like, a little part as one of Ariel's
Oh.
sisters. But that was, like I was told that, like, 5 years ago when they were just talking about The Little Mermaid, but now that it's coming out, I'm, like, looking forward to seeing maybe she is.
Mhm. Well, that would be nice to see her. I mean, I still love her. She's
Yeah.
beautiful. She's stunning.
I can't even think of it that many. I mean, there's the one that was in Victoria's Secret. She's really beautiful too. Ugh, I forgot her name,
Who?
but oh look, her last name is Champal. She's
Oh my god.
Brazilian,
I didn't even of course.
she's a Victoria's Secret model. She's like the first transgender Victoria's Secret model, and she looks like in fish as fuck.
Is it
So-
Valentina
yeah,
Sampaio?
Sampaio. Sampaio.
Sampaio.
She's pretty, right? She
She's
looks like
fucking
she'd eat a sandwich though, but
stunning.
she's
Jesus
pretty.
Christ. Ew.
Right? Just giving me, like, exotic, right? But I wish she would
Santarella.
talk more. I don't think I've ever heard her talk. I thought I've heard her talk, like,
She
for, like, one
probably sounds
interview.
like this.
Oh my god. Not clocking the
Oh
tea.
my god, who talks like that? Oh, there's Teddy, there's
Oh,
there's
yes,
Teddy
Teddy
Quinlivan. Quinlivan?
Quinlivan. What are your
Quinlivan?
thoughts of Teddy?
I met her, I bumped into her in New York and she has a mouth on her.
Does she?
Yeah.
I can see that.
Mhm.
She transitioned really
Sometimes
early too, right? I mean,
I mean,
she
yeah,
has a fish ass
she was a
voice.
teenager for sure. Yeah, she gives you fish and she's like a size double zero. Like
Yeah, she's so skinny too.
it's
I'm
crazy, but
jealous.
yeah, I know, me too.
I'm a little jealous, but
Well, there's the T.
what happened to her too? I feel like she's disappeared. There's Leia T.
There's
There's
I
Gina, but
mean,
I feel like
Gina,
Gina, she doesn't model like fashion anymore. I feel like she's more like I don't want to say commercial. Like, I mean, the last thing I could think of is like Playboy.
mm,
I don't know. Like,
she's more of an activist nowadays.
yes. But I
Well,
would
there's
like
I
to
think
see her in more fashion roles that don't focus
mhm.
on her being trans, just like being a model.
That's and that's where we're talking about. Like,
Yeah, like,
can we hire
okay,
the girls for their talent and
exactly, not just put her on the
their
cover of
gender?
something like, "Oh, look, it's the first transgender." And I'm like, can she just be
That's what I'm
a
saying. It's
fierce
become
model and
trendy.
then they don't even mention the fact that she's transgender? I mean,
Hmm. What are your
that
thoughts
would
of
be a first.
that would be a first, actually. Yes, it
Like,
would.
where they could transcend the whole transgender thing. It's not even a I feel like
Uh,
Hunter Schafer's kinda like that. Like,
yeah,
they don't
nobody
really
actually mentions that she's
mention that's
trans.
trans. So,
Um,
there's
that's true.
some hope.
That's true. She's our hope.
There's some hope, but of course, we have to start with the blonde white girl. I mean, why does it always have to start with the blonde blue-eyed bitch?
It's easier for
People to digest it.
the masses to digest and swallow.
Yeah,
First swallow
exactly.
and then digest.
I mean, there is a lot of stuff going on. There's like, she's trans, she's like, if she was ethnic, or if she was plus size, and then ethnic, and then trans, and then that'd be too much for
But
society to
people
handle.
will be like,
I'd be like, the
"Fine,
activists would go crazy. Like,
black,
what's going on? There's
black."
just too many minorities.
Yeah,
Right.
I
And
mean,
that's what I always felt hindered me because I feel like I'm like a fun little
mm,
package of minorities. I am plus
mhm,
size, I'm
mhm.
Asian, I'm trans. What else am I? I feel like
You're
it's
you're a
I'm like
singer. You're
it's just a lot. I have a lot going on my plate, literally.
mhm. Yeah.
So it's hard to like wrap it up in like in a nice little package. And I feel like I've done a pretty good job at like, putting it together. I mean, how do you feel like being Mexican, being trans?
I
Like being
it's a
too
lot first
minority?
it's well, I had to first deal with the fact that I was, ESL. I think that was, like, my first, like, big, like, realization growing up,
Mhm.
and then I wasn't over it and when I became trans, so I'm still, like, juggling being, more than one thing,
Mhm.
because I represent trans, and I represent Mexican, I represent, like, being a daughter of immigrants, like,
Yeah,
being a daughter
that
of
too.
that part, and then also being a daughter of lesbian parents, which we'll talk about
Oh,
later.
yes.
You
I'm
didn't know
still a
that
little
about
unclear about
me?
that shit. I'm like, "Wait, I'm confused." I
What?
know you've explained it to me
Yeah.
several times, but I'm like, so anyway, we'll talk about that another day
That's a
though.
different episode. Another little bit about me.
Mhm.
I love it all. Like, yeah, and of course it's a lot for people to handle, because a lot
It
of people
is.
when they meet me, they don't automatically think that I'm actually Mexican. They always assume that I'm like something else, like Middle Eastern. I don't know, like they never think I'm Latin or Hispanic. And they always get shocked when I speak Spanish and they're thrown
They think
off.
you're like Persian or something?
I get Persian, I get Indian, I get Pakistani, like I get it all, which I get it. I mean, there's a lot of similar features that we
Can you
share.
believe
Like,
someone asked me if I was Italian?
what?
Yes, I think
From
someone asked me.
where?
I don't know if I was walking, some homeless guy came up to me or I was somewhere and someone randomly came up to me and was like, "Are you Italian?" I'm like, "Maybe from the East Side."
I'm from Little Italy, New
I'm
York.
from Little Italy, maybe you saw me at one of the, pasta places, but no, I'm not
Eating a
Italian.
cannoli.
I'm like, I think
That's
I
so
look pretty Asian.
random.
It's so random. I'm like, that's too funny." It's tough being
Interesting.
all these minorities and I feel like
And it would
also,
change in the fashion industry.
yeah, I remember somebody coming up to me and I kept comparing myself to skinny people, like, "Oh, like, you can do that because you're skinny. Oh, I wish I was skinny because, well, I can do this." And then someone came up to me and said, "Who cares? Why don't you just, like, take what you have and flaunt the fuck out of it?" And they were like, "If I
And you're
was
like this.
you, I would, like, embrace it and fucking show it off and be like, 'Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm, like, a
Wow.
hot plus size person.'" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh." I was kind of, like, shook a little bit. I was like, "Oh, maybe you're right." And I kinda take it like that. So, I
Yeah.
think but also I feel like if I wasn't all of these
Mhm.
things, it
Mhm.
would give me the confidence that I have right now. 'Cause I
Absolutely.
could handle a lot of
Mhm.
criticism. I'm sure you're the same way, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
we grew up and we faced a lot of criticism, a lot of, prejudice,
Mhm.
a lot of judgment, and I think after so
Just for
many
being just
years
for being our ethnicity.
yeah, just for
Mhm.
being all the minorities that we are, that's why I feel like when you meet me, I'm, like, so aggressive, I guess? But people have described me as being aggressive and, like, very, like, curt, you
Hmm.
know? You know what curt means? Like,
Mhm.
to the point, you know? Like, I
Right.
don't sugarcoat shit, and I'm not a sugarcoater because I love when people tell it like it is,
Mhm.
and I feel like I've become
Such
that
a New
person.
Yorker.
Right. And I feel like all the things that I am has made me into and given me that confidence to be
Mhm.
so, like, absolute with answers. So people are
Absolutely.
like, "You're too honest," or "Sometimes you're not always right." I'm like, "You know what? If I'm wrong, try to teach me that I'm wrong."
Okay.
Challenge me, and I like
Yeah.
a challenge. I like to learn because 'cause I'm somebody who likes be taught something, and I guess when I'm explaining something, I come off very, like, matter of fact, and then people are like, "You know what? Your opinion isn't always, like, the right one," and I'm like, "Okay,
Mm.
well, if my opinion isn't the right one, then challenge it and tell me why it isn't right. Tell me. If I'm wrong, prove to me that I'm wrong." Okay? And I'm not saying that to be like a
Mm,
bitch. I'm saying that as like, teach me. And they never can.
okay. You're like,
They never can
uh,
teach me. I'm
uh.
like, that's what I thought. So but
I think when
anyway.
I first met you, I think I was just more, like, fascinated because, you were my guide. You already knew New York, and then we went from that to relating being trans, from me already thinking that, "Oh, she's already in it, she already knows," to partying. We went from, like, literally from A to, like, M to then P, and then, like, it was just, like, all these, like, so I
Eh,
always picture you as fabulous. Like, the best word that I can describe you was fabulous in my when I
oh,
first met you.
well, that's nice. That's a good thing to be thought of. For being a bitch. I don't
Aside from being curt.
Kurt, right.
Curt,
And a
curt.
lot of people have a hard time swallowing that when it comes to
Yeah.
me because I
Mhm,
I I give you tough love, and honestly, in
mhm.
real honesty, if I don't give you tough love, that means I don't care about you,
Ooh,
you know? Like, if I'm
okay.
silent and I let you fucking fall on your face, that means I don't give a fuck. But if I tell you, "Bitch, don't do that. Don't do this, you're gonna fucking fall."
Ah,
And
you
then
stupid
you're like,
bitch.
"God, you're such a bitch. Why are you, like, being so honest?" I'm like, "Because I don't want you to fall, bitch."
'Cause I don't want you to crack your face, hoe.
Yes, because you know why? Because I fell doing the same fucking thing.
You see the
So
scar? You see the scar?
yes, that's why, like, people that, like I don't get along with a lot of people that
Mhm,
when you tell them don't jump off the cliff, there are, like, great white sharks in the water. And
mhm,
you keep telling I'm telling you, there are great white sharks in the water, don't jump.
mhm,
And they
mhm.
and they feel the need to experience it for themselves. I
Yeah,
get angry. I'm like because they're like, no matter what you say, they're like, "Well, I'm gonna jump because I need to
I
experience
know.
it for myself." And then they jump, and then they get fucking bit by a goddamn shark, and then they come back crying, and I'm like, "Bitch, I'm not talking
Well,
to you about it."
now they can say that to someone
Right.
else.
I don't have
Don't jump
patience
in the
for
water.
people like that. I don't
I
have patience.
know, but that's the thing, like, we all have to learn in our own ways, and
I know.
sometimes it takes something like a shark bite to really ground us and put us back together and
Right.
learn from that.
Mhm.
That's just how life rolls.
That is going from fashion to life.
I know, like, how did this turn to this?
Where where did that
I
come
know,
from?
let's go back to fashion.
It's like, "Did you see the new fashion show? It prevented me from being depressed about my life choices." Like, girl, when did it transition into that? I'm like,
I don't know, we
I
just
don't
went with
even
it. People are still
we
following
were
us. Whatever, I don't care.
but that's how we are because 'cause we're real,
Mm,
and that's reality. Reality, sometimes the subject changes,
yeah,
and you don't realize.
yeah, you know?
But perfect timing because it's already been an entire hour
Oh my
of us
god, time
talking about
flies when you're
fashion.
having a fun time.
Yeah, and our fashion journeys
Yeah.
to where we are today, and I just hope to, like, grow with fashion and continually changing and improving myself because I
Oh,
think of
yes.
fashion as something that is fun, and I feel
Mhm,
just like makeup,
mhm.
people think about it too damn hard. I'm like, just have fun with
Yeah,
it. And if it
absolutely.
makes you feel good about yourself, then do it. Even if it is like ugly ass disposable dresses and loose tight heels, I think those people are just misguided.
That's all. That's all.
Right?
It takes a good friend to put you into something that you never would have picked up,
Right.
and shout out to Tanisha.
Like,
That's my Tanisha really pushed me, to
okay,
step out of my
Tanisha.
comfort zone. Tanisha Davis Gomez, now living her
Okay.
best life in Miami. She literally saw a vision for me as far as, like, uh, my wardrobe, and she
Yeah.
made me try things that I would have never in my lifetime picked up
Right.
or even looked at, and
Right.
the moment that happened, I actually got to try things on that she picked. My
It's all
slutty
about
days were
exposure.
over.
I think it's when exposure meets an
Mhm,
open-mindedness for
mhm,
change. And a lot of people don't want to change because they think they know who they are. What they don't realize is that you're changing every moment of the day. You're changing every second of the day. Why would you want to look the same that you did last year or last month, even? Like, you should, I think people need to embrace change and
mhm.
embrace evolving
Correct.
themselves. So they get
Absolutely.
stuck into like this comfort zone. And then when you try to change it, they get threatened. Like, oh, you're changing who I am. This is who I am. And I'm like, maybe it is who you are now, but I feel like you would grow more, like just mentally to be open to change and accepting people exposing you to new things. Because, like you know, was
Mhm,
a good example from Houston. If you came to New
mhm.
York with a closed mind, like your partner in crime that left after a month, you would have never been who you are now. You would have stayed still. Am I wrong? But you embraced it. You embraced change.
I did.
You exposed yourself to
Mhm.
new things and were then inspired by these things that made you evolve. And don't you feel so much better with yourself? Can
I
you imagine
do,
seeing
I
stuck being
do.
stuck in those dresses?
Absolutely not. I look at those
Absolutely
pictures
not.
and I literally, like, I have to, like, clutch my pearls of, like,
Right. Like you can't
"What was
believe
I
it.
wearing?" Like, oh,
Right, because you
and,
have been exposed and
yeah.
people that have come into your life have exposed you
Mhm.
to new things that you never in a million years thought, "Oh, maybe I can be that person. Why
And look
not?
at me now, look
Look
at me
at me
now.
now." All right. Well, on that note, guys,
On that
embrace change, open your minds and your hearts to fashion
Mhm.
and trying new things. I feel like it's healthy for the soul.
Absolutely.
And don't get stuck in this rut of like monotony. Expose yourself. I feel like if everyone in the world would just open their minds and force themselves to be put in an uncomfortable position and meet different kinds of people, we would all relate so much more and love each other more. I mean, not getting like political, but like if more people like expose themselves to like trans people or LGBT people or black people or Asian people, they'd realize, oh my God,
Mm,
they're not that bad. And I could learn something from them. You know, oh,
okay.
in fact, I can be friends with them. And they're like a different person instead of being like some racist bigot,
Ooh,
you know?
ooh,
And it's the same
ooh.
thing. Open your minds,
That
people.
part. And
That
also, like
part.
and it's okay to make mistakes in fashion because you learn from
Yeah,
them.
because
You're
it's
gonna learn what
fun and it's
doesn't
clothes.
suit you. At the end of the day, you're gonna take it off.
Right. It's all and what did RuPaul say? Like, everybody's in drag. We
Oh,
were
no,
all
no,
born naked or something like that.
you're born naked, everything else is drag.
Ex that part. Don't take it seriously, guys, have fun, and, open your minds and keep watching House of Teas and like,
Yeah,
subscribe, and
subscribe,
comment.
like, and comment, please.
Yes, we
Subscribe.
wanna know what you guys think about, what we said today and
Yes.
your own styles and if you're into fashion
Mm,
or whatever, because we wanna know who's watching us, or if
such
this
a
is just some
demographic.
creepy tranny chaser watching us. Can you imagine? There probably is some nasty, gross tranny chaser watching us right now, touching
But
himself, and
what if
that's
he's
disgusting. We're
what if
classy bitches.
what if it's a hot Chinese tracer?
Ew. Depends. I mean,
Oh.
all right, guys. Well, thanks
Thank
for
you so
watching
much.
again, and we'll see you